Other planets. Mercury. It is the planet closest to the Sun. It has no moon. During the day, the temperature of Mercury is 427 degrees Celsius. And when it is night, the temperature is minus 183 degrees Celsius. It takes 88 days to complete one revolution around the Sun. It takes 59 days to rotate on its own axis. It is named after the mythical Roman god Mercury. Venus. It is the brightest and hottest planet of the solar system. It is named after the Roman goddess of love and beauty. It is the second planet from the Sun. Its size is nearly equal to that of the Earth. Therefore, it is also known as Earth's twin. It takes 225 days to complete one revolution around the Sun and 243 days to rotate on its own axis. Like Mercury, it also has no moon. Mars. It is the planet next to the Earth in the solar system. It is named after the Roman god of war. It is also known as the Red Planet, which is because of the presence of iron oxide on its surface that gives it a reddish appearance. It completes a single revolution of the Earth in 687 days and takes 1 day to complete a rotation on its axis. Its rotation period is almost similar to the Earth. Mars has two known moons, Phobos and Deimos. Jupiter. It is the largest planet of the solar system. A large part of it is made up of gaseous material. It is named after the mythical Roman god Jupiter. It completes a single revolution of the Sun in 11 years and 11 months, and it takes 9 hours and 56 minutes to complete one rotation on its axis. It has 69 known moons revolving around it. Therefore, it is also known as a mini solar system. Saturn. It is the most beautiful planet of our solar system. There are bright rings around its equator. These rings are made up of icy particles, dust and gases. It takes 29 years and 5 months to complete a single revolution of the Sun and 10 hours and 40 minutes to complete one rotation on its own axis. Saturn has 62 known moons. Uranus. It is the 7th planet from the Sun. It is named after the mythical Greek god of sky. Like Saturn, it also has rings around it. It completes its revolution around the Sun in 84 years, and it takes 17 hours and 14 minutes to complete a rotation on its axis. It has 27 known moons so far. A large part of it is made up of ice. Therefore, it is also known as the ice giant. Neptune. It is the 8th and the farthest planet from the Sun in the solar system. It is named after the mythical Roman god of sea. It takes 164 years to complete one revolution of the Sun and 16 hours and 7 minutes to complete a single rotation on its axis. It is 17 times the mass of the Earth. It has 13 known moons. No more. A few years back, Pluto was considered the 9th planet of the solar system. In 2006, the International Astronomical Unit, that is IAU, termed it as a dwarf planet. A dwarf planet is a spherical celestial body much smaller than a planet that revolves around the Sun. The satellites, moons. Satellites are celestial or heavenly bodies that revolve around the planets. The word satellite means an attendant or a companion. They are so called because they revolve around the planets. Satellites rotate on their own axis. Satellites move around the planets from west to east. Today, we know that there are more than 160 satellites in our solar system. Mercury and Venus are the only planets that do not have any satellites. Like planets, satellites also do not have their own light. They shine because they reflect the light of the Sun. The Moon. The Moon is the only natural satellite of our planet Earth. It is the closest celestial body of the Earth. It is about 3,84,400 kilometers away from the Earth. It has no light of its own. It reflects the light of the sun. The moon appears to increase and decrease in size. It appears at different positions and in different shapes at different times. These are known as the phases of the moon. The lunar calendar is based on the phases of the moon. In India, the ascending lunar phases of days are called the Shukla Paksha or for night, and the descending lunar phases are called Krishna Paksha. Phases are caused due to the revolution of moon around the earth. The moon takes 27 days and 8 hours to complete one revolution around the earth. The visible shape of the moon that reflects sunlight changes from night to night. When the moon travels from the new moon to the full moon phase, the visible portion increases. This is called waxing of the moon. When the moon journeys from the full moon to the new moon phase, the visible portion decreases and the moon is said to be waning. Actually, the moon is constantly half bright and half dark, but the angle of view from the earth keeps on changing. When the dark hemisphere of the moon faces the earth, we call it a new moon night or Amavasya. When the bright hemisphere of the moon faces us, we call it a full moon night or Purnima. Sometimes, when the moon comes between the sun and the earth, it casts its shadow on the earth. This is called an eclipse. When it covers the sun completely, a total solar eclipse occurs. It becomes dark in the daytime. When the earth comes between the sun and the moon, a lunar eclipse occurs. There is no air and water on the moon. It does not have an atmosphere like our earth. Thus, there is no life on the moon. The moon is very hot in the day, 120 degrees Celsius, and very cold in the night, minus 120 degrees Celsius. No more. Human-made satellites are called artificial satellites. INSAT, IRS, EduSat are Indian artificial satellites. Artificial satellites help us in weather forecasting, telecommunication, and various other activities. Because of them, we are able to see cricket matches and other TV programs in our homes. On July 21, 1969, two American astronauts, Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin, landed on the moon. They explored the surface of the moon. Asteroids. Asteroids are small planet-like heavenly bodies found in the solar system. They are large pieces of rocks floating in space. Most of them are located between Mars and Jupiter. This area of space is also known as the asteroid belt. They are also called planetoids or minor planets. Scientists believe that asteroids are the broken parts of a planet. The main example of an asteroid is Ceres. Meteors. At night, you must have seen some bright streaks of light moving across the sky with great speed. These are called meteors. They are also called shooting stars. Meteors are small pieces of rocks. Like many heavenly bodies, they also revolve around the sun. They cannot be seen as they are very small. Meteors can be seen in the sky only when they enter the Earth's atmosphere. Most of them burn up and become gases. Some big meteors do not burn up completely. They reach the surface of the Earth and are called meteorites. When they hit the Earth, they create large depressions known as craters. Many such craters are found throughout the world. Some of the famous craters can be seen in Ramgarh in Rajasthan and Arizona in USA. The craters in Arizona in the USA is the largest known crater in the world. Many meteorites have been collected by scientists. They are useful in the study of our solar system. Most meteorites contain a large amount of iron. Comets. Comets are celestial bodies made up of snow and rocky dust. They also revolve around the sun in their own orbit. When comets reach near the sun, they develop a long tail that starts glowing. The tail is thousands of kilometers long. In the past, people considered comets to be bad omens. Scientists believe that there are about 2 billion comets orbiting the Sun. The most famous comet is the Halley's Comet. It can be seen once in every 76 years. It was last seen in 1986. There are some comets that take even more time than Halley's Comet to orbit the Sun.